So basically, this is where I'm like stuck. Just trying to find somebody to talk to about it that understands it, or somebody that's concerned enough to actually just show concern instead of act concern. You know what I mean? They definitely ain't concerned about you in the hospital. They treat you like a fucking dog in the hospital and shit. Like, they don't even give you rights and shit. It's weird. Police officers don't even give you an opportunity anymore to be innocent about anything. They automatically assume you're guilty. Automatically try to figure out a way to make a mark in their profile that shows that they're in it for the money or the promotion or the next level of authority for power or whatever. I don't understand why we can't just be authentic. I'm just trying to be as honest and truthful with everything I'm going through. You know, what helps, what don't help. I can't say that I can identify like a depression, but I can identify almost a hopelessness, but not, because I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have hope and finding out something or being connected to somebody or something. So it's kind of like an accumulated emotion around these parts of a feeling of hopelessness. You know, we don't have money, we don't come from money. And then when somebody has money, they treat you like you're a burden because you don't have money or something. I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, I remember one time, this was during COVID, you know, everybody's hurting. I've been working for a while and I asked for a raise. And then the moment I was like, oh yeah, man, let me look into it and everything, you know. I've been turning in some cheese, you know. And I was around people when I asked, and then later, you know, when we wasn't around people, it was like it was brought to my attention, like how I could even have the audacity to ask for a raise with what was going on right now, as if his business, you know, the effect that it had on his business didn't have an effect on me. It had more of an effect on me than it had on his business. And there were 13 of me. And for him to come at me sideways, you know, this was after the whole lie thing. Same scenario, same guy, same energy. I don't. Again, you know, people do things that they're unaware of that they do. So, you know, he just saw himself losing profit, which is, you know, business mind, efficiency, and everything. And fuck anybody else that's gonna take any more of my money. My money, my money, my money. That was a common phrase used in my marriage. You know, you ain't getting none of my money, my money, my money. I never looked at my money as my money when I got married. I looked at it as our money. And the misconception of getting married and becoming a team, it's not. It's not even accepted. Like, when you marry somebody, or when you're in a relationship with somebody, regardless, you're supposed to be there to have a positive influence or a positive outlook, whatever. Lost thought. Sorry, but you're supposed to, put in equal parts effort. Now, what one person may refer to as effort is confused to another person's point of effort. Because, like I said, when I refer to effort in one thing and then they do the exact opposite, it's like, but I feel like I'm getting effort in a different way. It's like, how do I connect the dots from this like two-dimensional thought process to the third dimensional and fourth dimensional form? It's like you have to put the two-dimensional in between the 3 and 4, so it becomes 3, 2, 4. I don't know, man. I just try to connect dots and make sense of shit, and I just don't think people would do the things that they do if they were aware of what they were doing. I really, and that just might be my hope for humanity or the species that is what I am or whatever. Because if I can identify something I'm doing wrong, I mean, there is no right or wrong, first off. So if I can identify something that I could change to make not only my life better, but others' life better as well, would I choose to change it? And I think if you don't think that way, I don't understand how a person couldn't think that way. I think that's my problem. Is it's like 100% guaranteed fucking change in everything you ever thought and knew and stuff like that. And it's like, if you're aware of hurting somebody in some way, wouldn't you quit hurting them? Especially if you say you love them. If you understand, I mean, there again, do you know what love is? So, you call them, disorders or whatever. People have people in their lives that they call friends, but their friends are only there to stroke their egos. I know it sounds harsh, but that's what they do. Is like, oh yeah, you were right, he was wrong. But who knows what information are being fed? They believe that this person would never lie to them or never manipulate them or anything. So, I mean, you're a friend by having their back. But what I've learned is, like with friends of mine, if a friend comes to me for advice about a situation, I try to get the whole dynamic without a biased opinion and give, an honest point of view from the outside looking in, like no right or wrong, only what I can observe, and give you back what I could observe and then how I would respond to it, and that was me. But a lot of people do come to me for advice, which is weird, because especially if you've seen me here lately, I've been chasing something that I can't put my finger on, that seems to scare everybody but me. And the way I see it is, it's a natural way, a natural thing and it's gonna happen regardless. I'd just like to be connected to, those who are, whoever's going to implement this change. I'd like to be connected to, because it's like creative on a whole other level, and it's hard to create with so many different designs running through your head that you can't put them together, man. It's like worldwide type shit. But I mean, it's like recreating a country or a world, or like a new world order. I mean, it falls back into that. I mean, you make it sound harsh, but what if it's a new concept, a new idea? This is all we could come up with. It kind of heals this, kind of heals that, kind of, makes things mesh a little bit better or whatever. Who knows? But then you take the dynamics and you put it into the wrong people's hands, and make currency like digital or whatever, give them the ability to turn it on and off and say, hey, you can't have this no more. You got to do this, or you're gonna have to do this, or control. That's slavery. I mean, that's just straightforward fucking slavery. You can't have food unless you do this. It's, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like I almost allow my eyes to tell me what to do. Like they'll look at certain shit. Imagine, it's almost like living in a black and gray, until you can understand what the color red feels like. Not what it looks like, but what it feels like. Because when you feel it, you kind of understand, okay, it's flat, so the echo's going to go this direction. If it's convex or concave, it's going to go another direction. Same with your eyes, same with like the perception of whether we're on a globe or not. It's who cares when it comes to a certain thing, but it's all kind of sorry, I'm trying my best to stay on track with whatever it is. Sometimes I only get it for a second, sometimes I get it for a substantial amount of time, because in essence, in a certain dimension, they're still stuck in time. So sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. It's like having a satellite go around a globe or whatever, and I lose signal when it gets to the back side of it, and then I gain signal when it gets to the front side of it or whatever. But I've learned how to jump from one satellite to the next satellite and keep it a continuous flow, if you will. Flo is my dog. Bless her heart. I had a cat named Cash too. He was dope. He was a Sphinx. He was bald. say that animals resemble their owners, or owners resemble their animals, or whatever. I think if I were the soul of Cash, or whatever, that he'd be pretty happy on imaging. Like, I might not be the most handsome man or whatever, but I mean, in a certain term, I feel like I look pretty cool. It's like a ego thing, I wear this hat for multiple reasons. One of my most favorite reasons is because she hates it. I love that girl to death. And it's like she's my left hand or something, it's like my right hand or whatever. And kind of like a religious aspect, like the left hand has the time around it. Like, yeah, she bought me this watch. I don't look at it for time, I just look at it for movement. And so I allow her to have like my hand to kind of coach me through whatever it is that I'm trying to do on like a spiritual level. It's kind of like, in essence, it's like magic, but it's more like just fine tuning frequencies and energetic fields and stuff, and finding that connection, outside of the body. It's kind of like that astral projection shit. This is kind of still my understanding of it. I don't know it completely, but sometimes I'll do things that she would do. Like she kind of does this. We call it. You know how a cat will like rub its head up against you. I'll do that sometimes and not knowingly do it. And when I see I do it, I identify it, and it just like, it's kind of like, in a way, letting me know she's there. That's what I mean about like certain connections. And then, my nose, I keep touching my nose. There's certain connections with certain hand movements, and I try to explain to people, I got gloves on. I don't know why I got gloves on exactly. I don't know whether it's to cover my tattoos on my hands, or whether it's to just, for the most part, make my hands black so they match my hat. I don't know. It's like a subconscious thing that I just kind of roll with. And it was very chaotic when I first tapped into it. And I think that's what they call manic. But it led me to, let me tell you, it led me to take all her stuff from her house, like what I found to be her valuables, being like her her Gamora, and her just her like her rocks and her crystals and stuff like that. So I gather these all up. She goes to work, and for some reason I think I'm going to meet her on the other side of this dimensional thing that I'm in. And I'm being led, man, and literally the only thing that I took was like her witchy stuff, because I wanted to get it to her. And man, I packed everything up, and the only thing I took of mine was my tattoo equipment, because I thought it was like my battle armor, my sword, or it was like, I don't know, it was weird. But then again, I was in like this spiritual realm that didn't quite make sense. And she she calls me, man. I'm like out of it. Like I'm somewhere in like Greenwood at O'Reilly's, and I am like just like I don't know where to go, what to do at this point, you know. And then she calls me and she's like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "I have no idea." She shows up. I got all of her shit. You know, she went home. I guess I left the door open. The house was a mess. All kinds of shit. And I have no idea. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. And she was like, "You got to go." And I was like, yeah, I completely understand that shit. Yeah, like I don't know what the fuck that was about, but um, it didn't scare her off yet. Um, we continued to talk and be friends and everything, and you know, she believed me when I told her, you know, it wasn't what I was doing wasn't like a bad thing. It was, you know, I was trying to meet her on the other side of this. I thought she was already there, or I thought she was leaving and I had to go there, but she was going to work. At this time, I thought work was different, which I still believe is like work is different because I feel like what I'm doing right now is work. Because it's kind of like teaching souls or whatever. I mean, I'm a teacher or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway. So yeah, man, that happened. Yeah, it happened. See how I thought. These other personalities that are like, oh shit, man, that really did happen, and then they say like, oh, this is real. I hear that one a lot. Oh, this is real. Nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it gets down into like Disney and Mickey Mouse and shit. And you go two-dimensional, and then you go from two-dimensional and you create third-dimensional personalities from like cartoon characters and all kinds of shit. It's almost like creating a game with the existing pieces, you know, without scrapping or throwing anything in the garbage. We can just play off of what is already here and create a new dynamic of playfulness, and it would sure cut out a lot of suffering and a lot of misery, and it would bring people joy, something that we don't experience much of around here.